After months of non-stop hype, endless online debates, and a wave of glowing early reactions, I finally sat down to experience Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey for myself. And trust me, it absolutely lived up to the anticipation. From the very first moments, it became clear that Nolan wasn't just adapting Homer's legendary tale, he was reinventing it with remarkable confidence, delivering what I genuinely believe could rank among the greatest achievements of his entire career. Every performance feels incredibly powerful. The emotional depth of the characters reaches a level rarely seen in his previous work, and the breathtaking filmmaking proves once again that few directors can command epic-scale storytelling the way Nolan does. You won't believe how effortlessly he transforms an ancient myth into a thrilling, emotional cinematic journey that feels both larger than life and surprisingly personal. His masterful direction, combined with an exceptional cast, pulls you directly into the heart of the adventure, balancing breathtaking spectacle with deeply human emotion in a way that never loses its impact. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of movie that reminds you why theaters exist, because every towering visual and every emotional beat deserves to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. Nolan once again crafts a cinematic experience where every stunning frame carries real emotional weight, breathing fresh life into Homer's timeless masterpiece while preserving everything that has made it unforgettable for generations. It's a bold, unforgettable adaptation that confidently proves why this legendary story continues to captivate audiences centuries after it was first told. What truly makes the film special, though, is that beneath its enormous scale and jaw-dropping visuals lies a surprisingly intimate and deeply emotional core that stays with you long after the credits roll. Despite all of its breathtaking spectacle, the film reaches its highest point when it turns inward, becoming a deeply emotional story about grief, the things we sacrifice, the memories that refuse to fade, and the powerful, almost sacred longing to return home. To me, the greatest filmmakers always reveal the ideas that consume them, and in The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan wears those lifelong obsessions on full display for everyone to see. You can feel his fascination with time slipping through our fingers, the loneliness of exile, and the relentless pursuit of justice and revenge. What's fascinating is that nearly every major theme that has defined Nolan's career comes together here, making this feel like the ultimate culmination of his storytelling. I also couldn't ignore the lingering influence of Oppenheimer, because after exploring humanity's capacity for destruction, it feels like Nolan is still wrestling with those same emotional scars. That balance between darkness and hope flows through every chapter of this journey, transforming the adventure into something deeply personal about loyalty, regret, forgiveness, and the difficult road back to where you truly belong. Of course, no film is flawless, and I do think the opening stretch takes a little time before everything fully clicks into place. The first 20 minutes move at such a rapid pace that you're constantly absorbing new characters, storylines, and even additions beyond Homer's original poem, like Elliot Page's Sign-On, which demands your full attention almost immediately. I was honestly surprised that the famous Trojan horse sequence wasn't used as the film's opening, and part of me still believes beginning there might have created an even stronger launch for the story. Even so, I completely understand why Nolan chose this structure, especially when adapting all 24 books of Homer's epic into a single cinematic experience. This is an enormous undertaking, and in my opinion, he succeeds by preserving every essential piece needed to make this interpretation feel complete and emotionally satisfying. Aside from a handful of minor issues, I genuinely find it difficult to point to anything important that feels absent or anything major that Nolan could have handled more effectively within the story he set out to tell. As I mentioned earlier, One of the biggest reasons the Odyssey feels so emotionally powerful is because of the incredible performances that bring every character to life. Every member of the cast gets a meaningful opportunity to shine, and each actor leaves a lasting impression whenever they're on screen. At the heart of it all, Matt Damon delivers a phenomenal portrayal of Odysseus, giving the legendary hero a presence that's commanding, intelligent, and emotionally scarred all at the same time. From the moment he appears, you can sense the weight of years spent fighting, surviving, and carrying unbearable regret. And it comes through in every expression, every silence, and every carefully measured decision. One scene that completely stayed with me is his unforgettable exchange with Charlize Theron's Calypso, because it captures the heartbreak, longing, and quiet tragedy of Odysseus in such a beautiful way. It honestly reminded me of the emotional dynamic between Cobb and Mal in Inception, and the way Nolan echoes those emotional ideas throughout the film feels like an incredibly smart creative choice. Looking at the performance as a whole, Damon brings a deeply human quality to Odysseus that makes every victory and every setback hit even harder, and his emotional journey becomes the true foundation of the entire story. Then there's Anne Hathaway, who delivers tremendous emotional depth as Penelope, giving the film one of its strongest and most heartfelt performances. Her version of Penelope isn't simply waiting for fate to decide her future. She's constantly enduring, adapting, and surviving everything life throws at her with extraordinary resilience. She never allows the performance to drift into unnecessary melodrama, and instead brings a quiet strength that becomes the emotional heartbeat of the entire film. Every time she appears on screen, the massive scale of the story suddenly feels far more personal, authentic, and deeply human, which is something you immediately connect with. Then you have Tom Holland, whose portrayal of Telemachus is just as emotionally exposed as it is fiercely determined, capturing a young man standing at the crossroads of fear and destiny. He perfectly balances passion with vulnerability, making each scene feel meaningful as his character grows and fights to discover the man he is destined to become. Robert Pattinson, meanwhile, delivers a chilling performance as the ruthless Antinous, adding a darker, more dangerous energy that keeps the tension alive whenever he steps into the frame. His commanding screen presence makes every confrontation feel unpredictable, ensuring you're constantly wondering what he'll do next. Yes, there's an undeniable sense of danger surrounding his character, but what really makes the performance unforgettable is the unexpected charm he injects into every moment, making him impossible to look away from. I also have to spotlight Samantha Morton's portrayal of Circe because she's absolutely mesmerizing, delivering a performance that effortlessly shifts from enchanting to deeply unsettling in the blink of an eye. That entire sequence completely blew me away, and it's incredible how Nolan's direction, combined with Morton's fearless performance, pushed the story into such bold and unforgettable territory. Another standout who deserves far more recognition is John Leguizamo as Eumaeus, whose performance genuinely deserves to be mentioned alongside the film's biggest names. Every glance, every word, and every quiet moment he delivers carries emotional weight, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if awards conversations start including his name when Oscar season arrives. When you step back and look at the cast as a whole, it's obvious they fully understand the legendary importance of Homer's story while elevating it through Nolan's ambitious vision and their remarkable performances. Together, they provide the emotional backbone that keeps this massive epic grounded in authentic human emotion instead of letting it become empty spectacle. It's the kind of ensemble where every actor contributes something memorable, helping transform Nolan's adaptation into a film that feels both timeless in spirit and completely fresh for modern audiences. I've been trying not to jump straight into the visuals, but honestly, that's almost impossible because this movie demands to be talked about. The Odyssey is absolutely colossal, And Nolan's commitment to practical effects and in-camera craftsmanship makes every location, every battle, and every environment feel astonishingly real and immersive. You don't simply watch these breathtaking sequences unfold, you genuinely feel like you've been dropped right into the middle of them. And when the film leans into horror, it goes all in, delivering several haunting moments that are shockingly intense, visually disturbing, and powerful enough to stay in your mind long after the movie ends. This is the kind of filmmaking that leaves you asking the same questions so many fans already have. When is Christopher Nolan finally going to make a full-fledged horror movie? What makes the fantasy elements in the Odyssey so effective is the incredible restraint behind them, because the creatures are presented in a way that feels far more unsettling than if everything were shown outright. Take Scylla, for example, as Nolan refuses to rely on massive wide shots or obvious reveals, instead giving us only unsettling glimpses while the camera remains locked on the terrified sailors battling the chaos around them. That's a classic suspense technique, much like what made Jaws and Alien so unforgettable, where hiding the monster allows your imagination to create something even more frightening than anything fully visible. Nolan embraces that philosophy again and again throughout the film, using suggestion instead of spectacle to make every threat feel heavier and far more intense. The sirens are another perfect example, appearing only from a distance while their terrifying influence becomes the true focus of the scene. You experience their power through Odysseus, bound tightly to the mast, as he desperately struggles against their haunting song, slowly losing himself to something the audience never fully sees. That choice makes the horror far more psychological, proving that what remains hidden can often be far more terrifying than what is placed directly in front of you. As I mentioned earlier, the Circe sequence ended up being one of the movie's biggest surprises and one of its boldest creative swings. Rather than emphasizing the familiar, seductive dynamic between Circe and Odysseus, Nolan doubles down on pure horror, transforming the entire encounter into something deeply disturbing. The horrifying transformation of Odysseus's crew is staged with shocking realism, delivering an unforgettable body horror sequence that completely caught me off guard. It's brutal, unsettling, and crafted with such astonishing precision that every second feels disturbingly authentic, making it one of the film's most unforgettable. More than anything, that speaks to the incredible filmmaking on display, because during sequences like these, I honestly couldn't stop wondering how Nolan and his team managed to pull them off so convincingly. And while we're talking about the filmmaking, Hoyte van Hoytema's cinematography deserves enormous praise, as every frame is absolutely stunning to look at. Together, Nolan and his longtime cinematographer create images that go far beyond epic scale, using soft shadows, glowing light, and breathtaking compositions to give every landscape and every moment an almost dreamlike, otherworldly beauty. Every mountain range, rugged coastline, and ancient ruin feels astonishingly authentic, as though the camera has traveled back through time to witness history unfolding firsthand. And I absolutely have to mention Ludwig Göransson. The environments feel genuinely lived in. The unseen creatures still carry an overwhelming presence, and Göransson's music feels as though it was born from the very world these characters inhabit. It's an extraordinary combination of technical brilliance and artistic ambition, where every department is working in complete harmony toward the exact same vision. And that's exactly why this centuries-old story never feels distant or outdated. Instead, it feels urgent, dangerous, emotionally powerful, and incredibly alive for a modern audience. Without stepping into spoiler territory, I have to say the ending is what ultimately elevates this film into something truly unforgettable. The finale is fearless, emotionally layered, and incredibly ambitious, delivering the kind of conclusion that makes everything before it feel even more meaningful. It features a breathtaking stretch of action and unbearable tension that keeps you completely locked in from beginning to end. But rather than finishing on spectacle or celebrating a simple heroic victory, Nolan leaves the audience wrestling with profound questions about human madness, the emptiness of war, and just how fragile civilization really is beneath its surface. The result is a film that feels breathtakingly human, proving that beneath every legendary adventure lies a deeply personal story about survival, sacrifice, and hope. Just like Odysseus himself, this journey leaves behind pain and regret, but more importantly, it leaves you wanting to experience the adventure all over again. For me, the Odyssey is an extraordinary cinematic achievement, delivering enormous spectacle while never losing sight of the emotional heart beating beneath every frame.